Hey guys, Shane from Jaggs Journeys here, back live again. It's been a little while since we've done a live stream on a Wednesday night due to things going on, working late, state of origin, all that kind of stuff. So I thought head back into it now. I didn't advertise this specifically because obviously I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make the time 7:30, but here we are at 7:34 p.m. here in Queensland, and we're kicking off the live streams again. So thank you. If you find this come up on your phone or TV or whatever you're watching YouTube on, and you see Jaggs Journeys is live, appreciate you guys live from the studio here in the Gold Coast. So thank you all for jumping on. I can see a few of you jumping on now. So we'll kick off with some some updates and some things that have been happening around theme parks and attractions and things like that. So, and obviously we'll go through. We'll do my best to answer your Q&As as we go along. Keep it to the topic. Keep it to theme parks. All the rest of it. This is moderated by moderators, so always getting. There'll always be moderation happening on the live streams. So, big thank you to everyone who's jumping on, and a very good evening to you all. Appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy lives and other things you got going on. But I thought, well, there's no maths on anymore, and there's no state of origin tonight. There is probably things you're watching or have better things to do, but I appreciate you guys all jumping on here right now and spending a little bit of time tonight with me. So I appreciate that. So good evening to everyone who is jumping on. Good to see some of the regulars jumping on again. I appreciate you guys taking time out as well. So I really, really do appreciate it. And we'll kick off shortly. So g'day to everyone. Yep, been good. Been busy, obviously. As most of you know, this isn't my full-time thing, YouTube. It'd be cool if it was one day, but reality is here in Australia, for me, I have a full-time job, so this is my weekend, essentially my weekend hobby, and which I have a passion for doing. So, and I do appreciate you guys that continue to support the channel and keep watching the videos, liking, sharing, subscribing, all the rest of it, commenting. It all helps and is always appreciated. There's been a fair bit going on lately. Hopefully everyone's been able to keep up with the content coming out that I've been putting out. So it's been quite a bit of stuff going on, and there's stuff coming up as well. So let's just have a quick look here at what's been happening. Let me just find where I'm at. Here we go. All right. So, all right. What do we got? Again, a big hello to everyone who is saying hi. Hi to everyone jumping on board. Appreciate you all. All right. So sorry I didn't advertise this because my weekdays, my work days during the week, I do a lot of travel, so on the road, and we're getting busier. We're getting busier and busier, and getting back to the Gold Coast is always challenging in traffic, depending on what time I leave the last customer I have to call on, depending on where I'm at. So anyway, so we will go through questions, of course, and we'll just go with what's been happening as well. So the last few things I've done, probably since we've done this live stream last, I've done a couple of merch update videos. So I've done Dream World, Movie World, and Sea World merch update. I hadn't done one for quite a while for each of those parks, and it's something I've always done in the past. And I've just, there's always other things going on. So wanted to get back to those. So at least we're able to give some merch update videos there. We had some new menu items happen at Jane's Rivertown Restaurant. So I did a video on that. The salmon and the nachos. Some people I've seen have not enjoyed the nachos, but I don't think they added anything. If you add the meat, like I did, I added the pulled pork. Yes, that's an extra cost, but that definitely makes the nachos better. So recommend that if you go to Jane's. We did our so for our Theme Park Cartel podcast, we did a behind the thrills, and it was open to anyone if you found it. We launched it specifically to our listeners, so the people that do the extra support on through the podcast as well. And then if we didn't sell the tickets, we were going to release it to everyone. We only had 30 tickets available, and we were sold out completely. 30 tickets gone. So last year we had at Aussie World. This year it was at Dream World. Make sure you check out the video if you haven't already done so. It's called Behind the Thrills. It was an awesome day. Every single person, as far as feedback I've got anyway, thoroughly enjoyed the day. We got to see stuff you don't normally see and go places we don't normally get to go. It was really cool, and we just all had an awesome day. So there will be this is an annual thing that we will do. So make sure you follow the Theme Park Cartel podcast on Spotify or on whatever streaming platform you use. We are peeling back the podcast a little bit, as we probably, some of you would know. We announced on the last one. We're all so busy. There's three of us that do it, obviously with AU Theme Park fan Adrian and Riley with That's So Mid. So we've all got our own channels going on, all got our own schedules, and it's really hard to get us all together. Obviously, we do it remotely. We don't do it in one room. We do it remotely. And so we're going to be doing podcasts based around event reviews and trip reviews, essentially. And then we'll obviously, through Cartel Events, which is what we're calling our event part of our podcast. So we've had two of our Cartel events, and the third one, next year's one is already in the planning. All right. So these things don't just take, a day's planning. They take months. The last one was 10 months of planning to do the Dream World one. And the one before that was probably 4 months for Aussie World. So there's a lot of people, a lot of stakeholders we had to engage, and a lot of things we could and couldn't do. And then obviously we had to cost it all out because they provide the team. We pay for the labor. So they gave us a price, and then we have to divide that into, okay, how much do we think people would pay for a ticket for this? So this one that we just did was $80 per person. But you had to already have a Dream World pass. So if you're not an annual pass holder, you had to buy a day ticket to get into Dream World as well. And we sold out pretty quick. So $80 tickets. People said they reckon that they got more than $80 worth of value. Plus, everyone got a little giveaway and things like that as well. So like a goodie bag. So yeah, excuse me. Sorry, I'm just gonna have a quick drink of Jack Daniels. Yeah, needed that after today. But anyway, so Jack Daniels is not a sponsor, by the way. They could be. Little Hampton Springwater is the official sponsor currently of the live streams for Jaggs Journeys. All right, so if you're looking for great sparkling water, check this out. Little Hampton sparkling water. I actually dropped this can earlier on today. Unfortunately, it's a bit damaged, but it still will taste fine. Probably when I open it, it's probably going to explode on me. But anyway, that'll be fine. Anyway, so we're going to run these events every single year, and it'll be around May. Okay, it'll be around that time, give or take maybe a few weeks, because we have to time it right and do it at a time that's sort of in between events and that kind of thing. So yeah, if you know anyone that came along, make sure you have a chat to them and ask them what they thought, and I'm sure they'll say it was awesome. So that was one of the things we did. I did a visit to Movie World. Again, an update for you on what's currently happening at the park, what's happening like up and coming. So obviously we know they got Heroes and Villains event coming back for June, July school holidays at Movie World. which is exciting. It's a cool event. Everyone likes that event. Doomsday, they've removed a lot of the figurines. It appears that they probably are just giving them all like a touch up, because some of them were looking a little bit worse for wear. Some of the ones that were still there, like Harley, Joker, Poison Ivy, they were recently done. When I say recently, maybe within the last, I don't know, 6 months maybe. So they're still looking really good. But all the other ones were desperately in need of restoring, essentially. So from what I saw, movie will drop a couple of they drop something to do a Scarecrow coming back for heroes and villains. So I think they're going to be utilizing that area. I think and I hope they're going to utilize that Doomsday area for something for heroes and villains. So we can look forward to that. We haven't had an announcement yet on Doomsday Destroyer Ride. We're hoping that we're going to get an announcement on that one very soon, hopefully this year, hopefully in the next, I'm hoping in the next month or so, but we'll see. We're not sure yet, but hopefully we'll get that announcement on what is happening there. Also in that video, I updated you guys on what's down at the moment as far as rides. Superman, the day I was there, came back up that day, as I showed in my video. It wasn't due to come up for another couple of days, so that was great that they were able to get that one going earlier than anticipated. So that's fantastic. But yeah, overall, look, Movie World was looking good and excited for the events coming up. And then the last video I just dropped was at Dream World. Same kind of type of video in terms of updating what's coming up for Dream World. But also, they've just launched the new Niagara Falls version of the movie at Sky Voyager. And I went and did that on Saturday. I wasn't sure if I was going to get down there this Saturday. Had a lot going on. Outside of theme park stuff, but managed to make it there. Now, that if you want to see Niagara Falls, you gotta watch it before 2 p.m. because at 2 p.m. they actually changed that over to the Australian one. All right, so from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. is Niagara, and then 2 p.m. to close is the Australia one. So really worthwhile. And it's in my video that I dropped last Sunday night. And I commented on that they've put in, in that waiting area, the first part when you go in, there was a whole heap of just suitcases on display. They've ripped them out, thankfully, and they've put proper airport waiting seats in there that you get at the gates. When you go wait at the gates at the terminal, the exact seats. They've gone and bought airport seats to put in there before your flight on Sky Voyager. How cool. I love that thought process on the theming for that. It was pretty cool to see, actually. And then, as per usual, the movie was amazing. I really love, I'm not going to give any spoilers away if you haven't been yet, but I really love how the movie starts. It's really cool how it actually starts. And you don't just get to see the falls, it's Niagara. So you get to see around the surrounds of that as well, and it's breathtaking as normal, as always. So so make sure you check out Niagara on the Sky Voyager at Dream World, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. daily. It's so well worth it. I had to wait 45 minutes, I think, when I got there. Look, that went pretty quick, to be honest with you. That's really not a long time to wait for a ride. So I mean, definitely check it out. Plus, what else is happening at Dream World? Well, obviously school holidays are coming up, and they announced that they're doing Winterfest again during the day. So the usual things, they'll have wintry foods, they'll have the ice toboggan slide, they have ice skating as well. And if you're an annual pass holder, you do get a free ice skating session there, which is pretty cool. Take advantage of that one for sure. And then there's like a hunt. The kids can do like a little scavenger hunt thing for clues around the park, and then they get prize, that sort of thing. So there's a few extra things. So marshmallow toasting, all those cool things that we're familiar with Winterfest, and shows specifically for that as well, all happening during the day, included with your ticket price, by the way. So that's pretty cool. Now, they also did announce they're doing 3 Christmas in July events, and these are night events. So I think I haven't got the dates in front of me, but I think the first one is Saturday the 27th, and then I think it's the following 3rd and 4th of July, I believe. So that is an extra ticketed event. So if you're at the park during the day, you got to leave and come back in, or they might give you, if you've got a ticket, you can get a wristband probably, and then go into like a hoarding area until they reopen the park. But you can't just stay if you haven't bought a ticket for the night. It's a separate ticketed event. Good news is if you're a pass holder, it's only $10, I think it is. So that's really cool. I think if you're not a pass holder, the price, I did state it on my video. I haven't got it right in front of me. But there's adults and the kids price. But if you're not a pass holder, but like a friend of yours is a pass holder, they can get you tickets. I think it's $10 off the full price. A couple of options there. So with the Christmas in July, Jane's Rivertown Restaurant is going to have a Christmas buffet. That's an additional cost, of course. I think it was 65 for adults. I think it was 65 or 69. I think it was. It's in my video anyway. And there's a kid's price. I think about 30. Looking forward to that actually. I might do that. We'll see. I mean, that takes a big chunk of the night away though. So, it's only a short event again, 5:30 till 9. And for me, I got to film the event. It's tough. I'm running. I don't even stop usually to even have a drink. I'm flat out filming because I've got to obviously capture the event for people. But if I sit there and eat dinner for an hour, then there goes, I've got not much time left in the night. So maybe not do that, but at least I'll I'll maybe get along another night or something to check out the dinner. But there's gonna be Santa, like actual Santa, and Mrs. Claus there as well. There's gonna be Christmas shows. There's gonna be Winterfest things still happening that night, like ice skating, like the ice toboggan. It kind of ties into Christmassy theme, right? So there'll still be those sorts of things. I think marshmallow toasting as well will still be an option at night as well. But the good thing is, or the cool thing is, I guess, this event ends with fireworks, which normally they set them off sort of in that back area of the park. If you're in Main Street by the Dreamworld Flyer or near the Taipan, you get a really good view of the fireworks. So that's really cool way to end the night as well. So cool things happening for the school holidays. And at SeaWorld, no, there's nothing happening at SeaWorld. So at Movie World and Dream World, you've got those those two events happening. That's a lot. And they both, Dream World and Movie World, both their events start on the same day. So obviously not going to be going to doing both events on the one day. So, maybe second day for me is always the better event. So kicking off an event first night, can be a bit, wobbly. The next night they got it sorted. And then the following week, probably get there and do one of the other events. So, yeah, so it should be pretty cool. Really looking forward to it all. So that's pretty much what I've been up to and what's been happening. Obviously, there's rides like down for maintenance, getting spruce up and getting work done to them as well, which is really great to see. Yeah, so there we have it. And that's it for tonight. So we'll go through all your comments now. I can see there's truckloads. So thank you all for making comments there. I'll try and like I always say, if I miss reading a comment, please just pop it in again because I sometimes miss comments. Sometimes they just, as I'm scrolling, they scroll past me, like, or they go up too far. Then I think I'm at where I'm at, and then I'm not. So I'll apologize now in advance for that. But just pop it in again, or you could always give us a DM on Instagram. I check that when I get home from work every night. All right, so let's have a look. Let's just have another Jack Daniels. Ooh, might make that one a little bit strong, but anyway, it's all good. Okay, so let's go. And again, a very good evening to everyone who has said good evening. There's a few more here. So good evening to everyone there. Okay, all right. Let's start with. We'd love to know two things: what will happen to Doomsday and Motor Coaster. Okay, well, we kind of spoke about Doomsday before. No announcement yet. Lots of speculation. Lots of things we'd love to see, dark rides, all that kind of thing. Really don't know. They haven't made any kind of announcement at all on Doomsday. I'm sure as soon as they announce something, they'll make a big deal of it. And then, of course, you'll start seeing it on social media through content creators like myself and others. You'll start seeing us posting, reposting, and all that kind of stuff. So as soon as we know, we'll let you guys know for sure. In fact, some of you might even find out before me. So if you do, send it my way. It's always helpful as well. Why don't you try out? Oh, sorry, Motor Coaster. Dreamworld definitely is planning. Like they already know what's going on in that space. All right, but there was a teaser they did a couple months ago. Well, it was actually an ad for I think TikTok or Instagram. And that like they burst in on the CEO in his office, and on the screen he had like the name of the ride and some artwork done. That was fake. So well done, well played on their part. But we will know more soon. I think they might announce what's actually happening later on in the year. Maybe soon, but maybe later on in the year. Excuse me. And it will be probably something that will open in maybe 27, end of 27, or maybe end of 28. All right. Because I know, and they've said this, the CEO said this, that they would rather do magnificent lands or projects or rides and get it right rather than doing all heaps of little ones or heaps of stuff all the time. That they want to do it right and do them a bit more in between, because remember, they've got other things they're working on, precincts, hotels, those sorts of things are all also being worked on. So they take a lot of time, effort, and focus just on those things. So as a ride does. So you can imagine they've got to plan when they're going to be doing different things. So I know we're all excited what's happening with Motor Coaster. Let's just chill, hang back. For now, nothing is happening with it. It's closed, as we know. But be assured that they have a plan and they know what's going there. The time, they will wait for the correct time to announce that, obviously. So that's what we were waiting for. So they'll start doing some teasers and no doubt on social media. So we'll have to wait and see. All right. Why don't you, excuse me, why don't you try out the Toowoomba Carnival flowers at night? I have actually probably over 20 years ago been to the Toowoomba flower. I think we drove there by accident when we first moved to the Gold Coast, but yeah, obviously it's a couple of hours drive from here, and if it's only at night, I don't know if I really want to drive. I have driven to Toowoomba quite a few times, and I do know the roads. I've never driven there at night, and I'm not sure how good they are at night time, especially in winter. Not sure, but yeah, I'm not sure about that as an event for me. But yeah, I mean, there might be someone else. I know another guy who's Dane's Theme Park Life. He lives out there. Maybe he might cover it. And again, I might watch that and go, hey, I might go to that one next year. You know, I'm not sure, but I have heard like it is amazing. So, but yeah, also depends. Like I work late a lot of the time, and obviously I have a lot of plans around what I do for content. All my content is planned and scheduled, so I don't ever just rock up to a theme park and just go, oh, I'm just here today to just walk around, film whatever, and put a video out there. I never do that. There's always a specific reason why I go to the park. I've already planned in my head the video, how I'm going to do it, what I'm going to cover. You know, that's why you see me there. I'm always going from place to place, because I've obviously got a schedule, and it's like a movie. You know, They don't just rock up to a location and film a movie. They've got a script. They know what scenes. They know what they're going to do, all that kind of stuff. So I work the same sort of way at a smaller scale, obviously. But so yeah. Well, anyway, we'll see. Thanks for the suggestion, though, Jamie. What else we got here? Jaggs Journey, please shout out my name. Pronounced Buckallow. Is that Buckallow? Yeah. Buckallow Beach City Hub. Is that correct? Sorry if I said it wrong. Thank you for jumping on the live stream. So is it the Buckallow? Yeah. The Buckallow Beach City Hub. So thank you for jumping on, and I appreciate your time in the live stream. Brandon Villa, I work with a lot of different businesses, and the busy periods tend to be now, excuse me, end of financial year and coming up on Christmas. 100%. It's exactly right. All into financial year, yep, and then also all around the peak holiday times. Pauline, where is the next Behind the Thrills? We are working on that at the moment. We have 3 different locations we're working on, because we have to work out what's going to be the best options. Availability of people that can do it, and then price, what we can offer. It may not even be in Queensland. So those in other states, we are planning, we're not just thinking Queensland and only Gold Coast or anything like that, because if this is an annual thing, we want people to be able to come to them, and not everyone can always get to the Gold Coast. So if we go somewhere else, then other people from other states get to come along as well, and some people might fly down from here even. I mean, you never know. So yeah, we'll let you know when we know, but it won't get announced till later in the year, maybe even early next year. And that's because these things take time and effort and a lot of back and forth before we can agree and lock in anything. So yeah, just keep checking out the Theme Park Cartel podcast. So we'll make the announcements on there. Jensen says, sorry I'm late because I didn't have a good sleep last night. Oh, sorry to hear that. It's like me every night. One of my neighbor's cars kept going off. I guess that must be the alarm, was it? That's no good. Fair enough. Well, I hope you're feeling much, much better now. Behind the Thrills looked cool. Wish I could have been a part of it. Yeah, anyone can be a part of it. It's limited tickets when we do release them. And as I said before, you got to check out the Theme Park Cartel podcast. It's where we announce it first and release it to. And then if we need to, we release it elsewhere. This is very limited. Very limited. So, yeah, we're working on it. We got one. Is it Nick? Next. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. 2 for 2 for the events. Looking forward to the third. Well, thank you again for coming along. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And even I that organised it all, I thoroughly enjoyed it too. So, and that's if I didn't enjoy it, and I always get a feel for how the day's running and how people are sort of interacting and body language and that. Because if people are just like look like this all day, then it's like, oh my god, everyone's bored. But everyone was engaged the whole time and got into it, and I think that was cool. And I think everyone had fun. Different, right? It's different. It's different. It's a different day to a normal day at Dream World, or different to a normal day at Aussie World. So, yeah, we definitely plan on this is a regular thing. So it's because they're so big and hard to organize. It's an annual thing. I mean, it just has to be. So, I mean, who knows? Like maybe in the future, we might be able to do 2 a year. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. We'll see. Pauline says herself and her granddaughter were at Movie World on Saturday. Well, I hope you had a great day. The weather was good. I know that much. Hey, Family Odyssey 22. Thanks for jumping on. Looking forward to coming up to Queensland in a month's time. The family, good to have a holiday. Our last getaway was the cruise in 2025. yeah, our last holiday was also was Singapore 2025, which was May 2020. So it's been over a year since we've had a holiday. But yeah, I guess the years just go so fast, and things cost money. So sometimes you got to save for 2-3 years to get that holiday. That decent holiday, like a cruise. I mean, that's a destination. That's an awesome holiday. And you work hard and you save and you save and you work for that. Like takes it's hard to save right now too, right? With everything, at least petrol's coming down, which is a positive. I paid $1.57 for unleaded yesterday per liter. That's pretty good here in the Gold Coast. $1.57. I was pretty happy to see that with that 57. So yeah, but I think the excise cut finishes soon, so it's probably gonna go back up again in a week or two, or whenever. But yeah, I just wish this war would finish properly so that everyone can get on with life and everything can settle, and hopefully things can come down in price. Anyway, yeah, I hope you have a great time when you get up to the GC in a month's time. Hey, John. John attended our Behind the Thrills. He said it was a fabulous day. Questions to Greg. He opened up truthfully. Excuse me. And this is why when I put that video out, when I filmed it, I was going to put film and I was going to put a mic on him and have the Q&A done through the channel, through the video. However, he gave certain things away to us as a group, providing we kept it confidential. Okay, so I can't then release that to the world, okay, on YouTube. So respectfully, the way I did my video, a bit of music in the background, just snippets of him chatting to the group and some crowd shots of everyone engaged and asking questions and that sort of thing. But the questions were great. And, we did say to everyone, make sure you come prepared with questions. I mean, the CEO is coming on his weekend for us to ask questions to him. So be prepared. And I'll tell you what, the questions were great. So thank you all to who asked the questions. And yes, he was very truthful and honest, and it was great to get some information there. It was really cool. Obviously we can't share all of that because he just said, I'm going to be open here and you guys are going to keep it in the room. And if it gets out, he knows it'll be one of us. So we don't want that. We want to keep that relationship strong with Dreamworld. So, but yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, I was going to do a series of shorts, just with the Q&As. But again, I decided, no, I can't do that for that reason. So, it is what it is. But yeah, everyone on the day, we had that information, and it was great to have that time for the CEO. Also, we had maintenance manager at another session. We had the senior ride operations, a controller, and we had the operations manager as well. So we're very fortunate, the people we had and the time they gave us was awesome. What's the chances of another food vlog? Always up for watching food vlogs. From 3 or 4 years ago when you and Adrian checking out the food stores. Yeah. As I say, I've got a lot of stuff planned. So, and again, like I was saying before, how I go to the park with an agenda, with a specific, I always go, when you see me at a theme park on a weekend, I've already planned what my topic is and what my video is going to be for, and that's what I'm targeting. That's why sometimes I might bump into a lot of people, but I got to keep going myself and just keep my video getting filmed and get it when I'm on a roll. I got to get it done, and I know what I need to do. So yeah, there's a stack of stuff on the list to get done, including what you were just mentioning there. So just stay tuned for more. Stay tuned for more. Again, I do 1 day a week filming, so I got to do it when I can do it. Sometimes I can do a few things like that in a day, and then release, maybe 2 1 week. Sometimes I've done that, but it's a lot of work. Editing is hard. I do it all myself. It's hard. It's time consuming, but I love it. So, it's my hobby. That's why I love doing it. So, yep, keep tuned. Stay tuned for that one. Question about Winterfest at Dreamworld. Does Kenny and Belinda walk around at Winterfest? Because I want to see them too. Yes, they do. They normally have a couple of different outfit changes as well. Excuse me. So you'll see them in like their, what is it like? What's it called? Like the, I don't want to get the name wrong. Like the German, is it Lederhausens? You know what I mean? In like this sort of European type of attire. Kenny will be in that. Belinda will be in like a dress or something. And then I have like a ski snowsuit as well that they'll wear. So yeah, they're out like usually all night. So when you're coming along, or all day rather. So what you can do is you can just go to the photo center and just say, hey, can you tell me where I can see Kenny and Belinda during the day? At what times will they be out and where will they be? Most of the time they're in Main Street. All right. But just check that out and they'll be able to tell you that. You'll definitely see them. Any visible work done on Jungle Rush over the extended maintenance? Okay, you can't see. Okay, I probably can tell you something about it. So, they're doing some more. Like, there's nothing wrong with the ride or anything like that. Okay, so they're doing obviously some maintenance tweaks, but they're doing some theming tweaks. All right, so as we've always sort of said all along, certain theming pieces were delayed. And as you would have seen from when it opened to now, there's been heaps of things added, right? Through the queue line, in the ride part, in the outside area, there's been things added all the time, right? So there's still some more things. I think some more major theming pieces that require the ride to be shut so they can access certain things inside the area for prolonged periods of time with, like high lift things. So I can't say more than that, but that reopens really soon anyway. So you'll see it all. You'll see it all then. But you can't see anything visibly from outside. You can't see anything. What do we got? Am I going? Shane, Pauline has asked me, am I going? You talking about White Christmas? Maybe Winterfest. I'll get along to one of the days. Again, everything happens all at once. Winterfest, the Christmas nights. I probably go like on the 3rd, probably, which is the second night. I think there's only 3 nights. So yeah, because I got to film, I got to edit, and everything's happening all at once, all on the same day. So I got to spread out over the 2 weeks. Catch up with your fans. Yeah, look, as you know, I'm always happy to stop and say a quick hi. But if it's a night event, it's got to be a quick hi, and then I got to move on because I got to it's such a short time frame. I'm just under the pump. At the end of the night, when the event's finished, I'm more than happy to hang about, say hi to people, have chats, and so forth. But during the night, I got to go. I have a schedule based around the show schedules, based around what's going on for the nights. So yeah, preferably at the end of the event, I prefer then to take time to talk to people. More valuable time. So Laura Jessica says, flown over from New Zealand to ride King Claw, and it was closed. Oh, sorry. You're kidding me. Yeah, that's a shame. Why was it closed? Was it just closed for today, or was it on maintenance? I didn't think it was going down on maintenance. The day I was there, it shut for a period of time because someone vomited on the ride, but unlucky. Let's have a quick look at the Dreamworld maintenance. So yeah, Jungle Rush, you've said you're going to be going on Saturday. Jungle Rush is definitely due to open this Saturday. It says it's reopening this Saturday, so Jungle Rush should be. So okay, King Claw is not down on maintenance. It must have been unscheduled closure. So which means if you're going back on Saturday, it should be open. Probably be open tomorrow, but yeah, that's a shame. So if you're from New Zealand, I'm not sure what part of New Zealand you're from, but if you've been to Rainbow's End and been on the Stratosphere, it's a pendulum ride. King Claw's is like way bigger, faster. Although that Stratosphere, when I went on it, they thought, oh, we'll do this guy a favor and run it longer and on the faster speed because apparently it has different speeds. Of course, I didn't know this. I didn't ask for that. So when I came off that, about an hour and a half, I was just toast. I was just in a crumpled heap. I was this close to vomiting. It wasn't good. Cool ride, but it wasn't good. Anyway, you'll enjoy King Claw. You'll enjoy King Claw. Hope you get it. I get to ride it. It should be open. So, am I aware about Wild West Mountain getting pressure washed recently? Yeah. They actually. It's not the first time it's ever been pressure washed. It's actually part of they've there's a certain. It's like when you get your car service, right? Certain kilometers of your car, certain things got to get done. So it's the same with the ride. And then external cleaning or pressure washing, it has to be done every so many years, right? So I used to work at the theme parks. It's been done so many times over the years, and people are posting, "Oh, it's been pressure washed." Okay, it's been pressure washed. It's the concrete gets pressure washed, also on a pretty much a daily basis as well. But anyway, yes, it's getting a good clean, which is great because as rides closed, it does need it because obviously it gets weather. It gets weather. Anything with like your house at home, you look at your roof, it's probably got black. It gets black over time from weather, dust, smoke, whatever in the air. It just sits there. No different to that. It's a massive, massive facade. So that's going to get dark and dirty looking. So yeah, it's going to look really nice and fresh. And they're doing some other painting and stuff as well. So yeah, it's getting a good cleaning, which is good. Did anyone ask if he's considered an RMC? Definitely, those questions were asked. Let me tell you, this group of people were all enthusiasts, So those are the kinds of questions that were getting asked. Have you considered this, that? So yeah. Look, Greg is well traveled. He's very well versed in theme parks and also coasters, and he's been fortunate enough to probably been on most coasters, not all, but most coasters in the world. He knows RMCs, he knows Mac rides. Do you know what I mean? Like he knows the coasters, he knows what they deliver, what types and styles there are, and what parks they're at, that sort of thing. So he'll know himself as an enthusiast as well what the best fit is for the park. Obviously, he didn't give us too many secrets away or announcements away. Ooh. But yeah, so those definitely questions were asked. Yeah. Chris, how are you? Thanks for jumping on. Motor coaster spot could possibly have been the new spot for Big Brother House. Now it looks like Big Brother is going to Brisbane. Yeah, it's weird because they kind of announced that it's coming back to Dreamworld like not that long ago, and then all of a sudden it's like, actually, it's going to be in Brisbane. I don't know why. Yeah. Okay, if you look at this is my perspective. Remember, they built that house inside the convention center, exhibition center at Dreamworld, which is the same space they use for ice skating, same space they use for Wiggles concerts, same space they use for wrestling, and many other things. So the cost of doing what they did, they built it like a movie set, obviously. Like movie sets are built in a big shed, right? Essentially, it's the same deal. So the cost was still significant, but not as much as building a whole house. So I don't know if they're going to build a whole house and then have a permanent gig somewhere in Brisbane. I don't know where. I don't know what they're doing. So I'm not sure. But one good thing is, I guess, excuse me, the whole thing with Big Brother is they're supposed to be isolated from the real world. Well, as we all know, when they're in the backyard at Dreamworld, they could see people on the rides, their family members, fans will shout out to them and they could shout back, and it shouldn't be like that. So I think maybe that was a factor, maybe. So we'll see. we'll see what happens. It was good that it was back at Dreamwood, but anyway, we'll see what happens. We hope you're doing amazing. Thank you, Isaac. Yes, as well as can be. We met you at the first breakfast with the stars. Oh, yes. Do you think Village Roadshow Park might remove the DC Villains precinct anytime soon? Well, excuse me, they do have to make an announcement on obviously what they're doing there. So, yeah, we're all waiting. But if they're redoing all the figurines, I mean that's what it looks like they're doing, redoing all the figurines probably for this event. But if they're sinking money in there for that kind of thing, maybe they're going to be keeping it a DC themed area. I mean, it's a cool looking area with all the sets and stuff. I think it's like movie sets. That's pretty cool. But I think it would be cool to have just a whole new ride there, attraction, whatever it might be. But I do know that they know what's going in there. So we just have to wait for the announcement, I guess. Like anything, they would have to have had probably a couple of options and different costings, because they then have to go to their owners and the board and say, okay, this is the plan for the area. Excuse me. This is how many people it's going to absorb. And that's important for a theme park, because particularly like Movie World, it's a big park, but it's quite a narrow, small park when you think about the public walkway areas. So on a peak day when there's like 17,000 people in Movie World, it's shoulder to shoulder. So the more, excuse me, the more attractions you can have or rides that absorb people, the better. So they would be trying to choose a ride that absorbs a lot of people, but can have high throughput as much as possible, because you got to pump those people through the rides and try and get people to all get a ride on that attraction. So, and then they've got to come to them with how much it's going to cost and what they then believe it would bring to the gate, because obviously they're going to be spending money on marketing a new ride. People are going to go, I wasn't planning on going to Movie World this year, but they got this cool new ride. I'm going to go and check it out. So, maybe we didn't have annual passes. Now we're going to buy an annual pass for the family because of that ride. So they will then have to do an ROI over a period of time, return on investment. This is what we spend this much money. This is when we'll expect to see that return. Could be 5 years, whatever it is. Then they have to go, they go, okay, here's my pen. Here's my checkbook. Which one am I going to sign? Am I going to sign for this much money, or am I going to sign for this much money? And once they've signed that money off, then they can start the ball rolling. So a bit of a process, and that can take years, months, years. So, but it's being worked on, and I think they're pretty close to potentially even announcing. So we'll have to watch the space. I keep saying this, but I'm surprised that they've not put a sign up saying, apologies for the way the area is currently. We are in between a new ride coming to the space, or redevelopment of this area. So watch the space, stay tuned, whatever. It's just been nothing. And I think when there's nothing, it's people then go, it's run down. Like they don't know, they go, oh, why is this area like this? But if there's a sign that says, hey, we're in the middle of something, we're going to be changing this area. So apologies for the way it is at the moment. I think in Disneyland, they say, pardon our stardust, or something like that. They put signage up. So I thought a sign probably would have been the least that they would have done. No doubt they will, when it gets announced, have a sign up there. I'm sure. Let's see. We'll wait and see. So hopefully soon, but we don't know. Okay, Laura's flying back to New Zealand on Sunday. So okay, staff were awesome. Got fast pass. Fingers crossed. I think if you're going on Saturday, you should definitely better get on Jungle Rush. I would recommend going down there. Oh, if you've got fast pass, it's fine. But yeah, either one should both be. They should both be open on Saturday without a doubt. Enjoy. Am I going to Seafire in 10 days' time? Haven't decided yet because it's nighttime and my camera is not the best, not the greatest. When I can afford it, I'll upgrade the camera. Like it's great camera, but nighttime's not so great. So I need to buy one that has a good night vision, a night camera, night light. So it needs a bigger sensor for a bigger light sensor to yeah, enhance filming in the dark. So yeah, maybe we'll see. Maybe. Dreamworld needs a major thrill coaster. RMC like Twisted Timbers. Yeah, that would be cool actually. Or Air Force. Yep. Steel Taipan is fun, but they need something to outshine rivals. I agree. Absolutely. And I think I kind of know. I kind of know what they might be putting in, and if they do go ahead with what we're thinking, it'd be very cool. Very cool. We'll have to see. Isaac, watching from South Australia. Appreciate you guys. Yes, I do appreciate you jumping on. Something to have a bit of a laugh about. Nearly a decade ago, they were talking about building a Disneyland in Adelaide. Yeah, I did hear that actually. Yes, I did hear that. I guess maybe because it's between all the major states, and there's probably a lot of land and space to do it there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll see. I don't think we'll ever see a Disneyland in Australia. We might potentially one day see a Universal Studios. Maybe. I'm not. I reckon 50-50 at the moment. I'm not. Yeah, we might not, because I think the smallest Universal is Singapore, where I was last year. Awesome park. Loved the park. Absolutely loved the park. It's not operated by Universal Studios. Obviously, they own it. They've built it, but it's operated by Resorts World Sentosa. So there's differences. The merch is not as good, I'll be honest. It's not. The merch you get in the US stores, oh, it just blows your mind. Stuff you didn't even know existed, you can buy. The stuff you see in Singapore Universal, don't get me wrong, good, but more like what you see at Movie World, kind of. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like Movie World stuff's good, but what I mean is depth of range is probably what I mean. So, we've only got so many things they can do here, but in the States, there's like everything and more, plus this, plus that. Here we have a basic depth of range, and Singapore's the same. They have a basic depth of range. That's a bit of terminology for that. Food, some was good. Some food was good. Some was terrible. Like, don't go to Goldilocks Chicken and have the chicken. I think they do waffles, and I think they're good, but don't do the chicken. Bad. Disgusting. Couldn't eat it all. The soft drink over there is not good. So yeah, but it's a cool park. But even though that's a small park, it was still bigger than anything here. I think. And yeah, I'd say definitely. And it had really cool rides, and we loved it, and we want to go back. It's that good. Like, loved it. But my favorite would be, I don't know. Epic Universe is epic. I love going to Epic Universe in Florida, and Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure are amazing, incredible parks. But you can't beat the original Universal Studios Hollywood, particularly the tram tour, the working studio. Something about that park is just nostalgia for me, I suppose. I don't know, but then again, Florida is next level again, crazy. So look, I would love to see a Universal here. I'd be there probably every weekend. Have you heard about the Tasmanian Devil escape from Paradise Country? It says I am still missing. Is that you, Mary? Yeah, look, it's very nearby. I live behind Went Wild, and there's people in the area that have seen, have actually seen it on the security cameras. I haven't seen it on my security cameras yet, but you never know. It's been funny because on the local, like Facebook group, people have been using AI and then, you know, showing the devil Mary in different situations. It's been pretty funny to watch actually, but yeah, I hope they find it soon. To be honest, the animal's probably scared, and that's not good. So I think it needs to. I'm surprised they haven't found it. In fact, well, I haven't heard. Maybe it's been found today. I don't know. I haven't had the radio or anything on today, so I don't even know. I haven't seen the news or anything. Hopefully it's found soon, or if it isn't already found. I would love if you guys do a behind the scenes at Movie World. Yeah, look, it's one of the parks obviously on our list. There's like 3 parks on the list at the moment. So actually there's 4, but look, it's a possibility. The larger the park, the harder it is. I'm just going to say that it's more hoops to jump through. So anyway, all will be revealed later in the year. Jinjins said that he watched Mortal Kombat 2. I haven't seen that yet. Hopefully it's cool. That's the one that was filmed here in the Gold Coast. A guy I know is in that movie actually. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. If you haven't seen, is actually the Giant Coyotes he's on Instagram, YouTube, and all that. Yeah, he's in that movie. What do we got? What kind of information did Greg give? Like I said before, I can't disclose all of that. So, but yeah, just bits of information that no one else knows about potential new things, developments. Yeah, he spoke about rides and things. So obviously he's not going to ruin an announcement, but he certainly let us know of a few things, which was really cool. I can't say it on here because obviously, yeah, we're not sworn to secrecy, but pretty much, right? So yeah, for respect for him and for the park, yeah, we want to keep that one to ourselves. But yeah, if you want to come along to the next one, check out the podcast and we'll announce that later on. Yeah, I want to know also what about new rides. Yeah, we all want to know. Of course, we all want to know. Mrs. McLeod says, yeah, he showed great transparency. I would love to have him as my boss. Yeah, I'm fortunate enough that he has been my boss when I worked with him at Village Roadshow for quite some. In fact, he hired me years ago, back in 2003. I think he hired me as one of his retail managers, and he was 100% the best, probably definitely the best bosses I've ever had in my life. So definitely, it's all about culture. Let's just say that. Have you seen the pictures of all the Christmas decorations being set up at Dreamworld? Yeah, if you checked out my last video, I even filmed those as well. So yes, there's been a lot getting set up, and it's all happening now because it's not far away. So it's going to be pretty cool. Hey, Coastal Life. How you going? I'm good, mate. Thanks for jumping on. Very good to see you. Very good to see you. Hope you're well. Make sure you check out Coastal Life. Jensen says, hey, Shane, I went to into 2 theme parks last Thursday, Movie World and Paradise Country. Cool. Probably wouldn't have been too busy either, so I'm sure you would have got on a lot of rides and seen everything. So that's awesome. Next Monday, he's going to Movie World to buy another Crypto Superman's dog plushie. They're really cool, eh? They look awesome. They actually look really cool, and their price is pretty cheap. I think they're like $30, something like that. They're pretty good. All right. I only recently discovered that Sydney had a studio backlot called Fox Studios. That's right, they do. Used to be open to the public and was awesomely themed. Did I ever go? Unfortunately, I didn't ever get a chance to go. I wish I did. I really did wish that I got to go to that. I didn't really know too much about it until into the later years, to be honest. So yeah, unfortunately, didn't get to see that one, but it was pretty cool from what I heard. And I've watched YouTube videos because there's people that documented it, and it looked pretty awesome. I think they had a Titanic like attraction there as well, I believe, something like that. Oh, okay. Laura's saying the King Claw was closed due to the weather because it was pouring at Dreamworld. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, hopefully the rain's easing off by the end of the week. I hope so. Jensen says, I met you at White Christmas at Movie World near the Gotham Cafe. I was wearing blue dress, sorry, and I had my Superman's dog plushie. Oh, yes. I do remember that. Yes, I absolutely remember that. Very, very nice to have you again on the live stream. Michael. He goes, I saw Big Brother has been moved to near Bluey's World. Is that where it is? There you go. You heard it here first. So it's in a warehouse. Okay. It's in a warehouse near Bluey's World. So that's North Shore and Hamilton. Interesting. So they're going to still treat it obviously like a movie set. So probably what they're going to do is, because they wouldn't have destroyed the set that was the house last year, they would have disassembled it and it'd been in storage. So then probably when you see it next year or this year, it'd look like the same house again, but obviously in a warehouse instead of the Dreamworld Convention Center. So there you go. Excuse me. Thanks for that info. I didn't see that. So he's saying he saw that in an article about a week ago. That's good info. Thanks for that. Laura said, yes, she has been on the Stratosphere in Rainbow's End. Nowhere near as good. The Stratosphere is really mechanical and feeling. The Claw felt a lot more natural, assuming the King Claw would feel the same. King Claw feels way smoother. Yeah, way smoother. Zoe says, I really enjoyed Japan. That's right. You went to Japan, Zoe. That's right. And you said it was a good country to visit. Amazing. You loved it. Oh, and it's your birthday this Friday. Well, happy birthday to Zoe Davis for this Friday. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Happy birthday. Cheers. I made that too strong. That's awesome. I haven't been to Japan yet, but it's on the list. There's the list and then there's the bank account. So the list is up here. The bank account's like down there somewhere. They don't marry up. Not yet. We'll see. I noticed during a recent visit to Dreamworld that the old Tiger Island music from 1995 is now being played in the Tiger Island toilets. There you go. Pretty cool that the park have brought it back after so long. I didn't know that either. I haven't been in those bathrooms for a little while, so good to know. Good to know. Yeah, they're really big on bringing back nostalgia back in the day. It's so cool. I love that about Dreamworld. It's so cool. Laura's saying both those rides are Intamin. They are, yes. Pauline says it was good to get a photo with Shane. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Always happy to stop and get a photo. Can you give me a shout out? I'm your 10,000th subscriber. The big CV, big CV Sorry, the Big C Ventures. Sorry about that. Thank you. Yes, well, if you're my 10,000th, yes, thank you. Yes, I do remember that. Thank you so much. There you go. Who's going to be the 20th? Could be you as well. Could be the 10,000th and the 20,000th. If we ever get there. It's been struggling a bit lately, to be honest with you. The old subscribers are like slow, but anyway, it's because I can't do a lot of content because of my job. So anyway, muchly all appreciated. What number subscriber am I? I'm actually not sure. So I can't see what I think they were on my stream is that right? You were on my stream at the time? I think it was something like that. I think that's what happened. But yeah, you don't see who like what ranking you are as far as subscribers. But I do know who my number one first ever subscriber was. My wife. She had to be the first one. But I was Mid's very first subscriber. I got him started. Obviously, he was my competition winner from when I had 5,000 subscribers. I ran a competition, and he was my winner. And then he said he's always thought about starting YouTube and doing Instagram and all that. So then, yeah, he started hanging out. He's a cool guy. So, and now he's doing bigger and better things than me. He's doing great. He's doing awesome stuff. All right. What we got here? Oh, I see they're working on the DC area. Any ideas? Yeah, I think they're just doing something for the DC Heroes and Villains event, as far as I know, at this point in time. Cirque du Soleil is bringing its acclaimed show Cruiser to Brisbane from August the 1st to September 27th. That's pretty cool. I've never been to a Cirque du Soleil. I do know, though, I have inquired. They don't allow filming. But certainly a great, amazing show to visit and see. I've got friends that have been, and obviously they are top notch. So thank you for the info there, John. Jay of Oceana, the theme park cartel event looked amazing. Jealous. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend due to being a sick family member. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully next year I'll be able to make it work. Great work, Shane and the cartel. Thank you. Yep. I will announce the next one when we know. And hopefully we'll see you there. Do you think Adelaide should have a theme park? Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't, because if you think about it, there's theme parks in Victoria, there's theme parks in Perth, New South Wales and Queensland. There should be one in South Australia, 100%. There's attractions and things all through North Queensland as well. So yeah, I think they deserved it. And obviously Adelaide, I've never been there, but I know they're big in sport, right? Sports stadiums and events and things like that. And I know there's a lot of things coming from the sports perspective to South Australia. So yes, I think they get the crowds to those events. So why not have some kind of an attraction or theme park there? 100%. You should start a petition. Hey, Jaggs, have you heard that Dreamworld have bought the original Tiger Island pre-show music back? Someone else just mentioned that before. Oh, hang on. No, sorry. Is that the same person? Or have I read that twice? Hang on a second. You might have. Maybe you posted it twice because I hadn't got to your comment yet. Maybe. Oh, no. Someone else mentioned that. Yeah, two different people. So there you go. So someone else has mentioned that again, and it was in the Tiger Island toilets. So there you go. The only music I heard in there was like the sound of the flush, but we'll have to check it out next visit. Big C Adventures says, "Do you know if you're going? Is it going? You're talking about the events. I'll be going to the events. I just don't know when, because There's so much happening all at once. So over the 2 weeks, I'll attend each of the events. Just not sure. Can't do them all in one day. Laura likes the theming of the DC area around Doomsday. However, it feels a bit disconnected from the rest of the park. Yeah, I agree. Definitely disconnected. It's yeah, that's what we said too. They need to move those figures into that DC rivals area, and retheme all through down there. That up there, that whole Doomsday area should become a big dark ride area, big massive. Build a big building and make it a big dark ride, like a top notch one, or turn it into Spooky Island and they come out of the scuba doo ride and then you're in Spooky Island. Do you know what I mean? Like that'd be cool, be like a flow on effect, or maybe turn it back into the Western area, start of the Western area. They could do something there. So, it definitely, even I was working there at the time that it was put in, and we were like, why are they kind of putting this up here? It's all the way down the back of the park. All the other stuff's at the front of the park. It doesn't make sense. But I wasn't making the decision, so I just worked there. So just go with the flow. Am I going to Singapore again? There's no locked in plans or anything, but would love to go again. Yeah. Even if it's just for like 5 days, I'll probably do 2 days at Universal, and then just eat for the rest. The food is incredible. All the hawker centers, awesome. But yeah, I do. I love it there. Probably go back to Sentosa Island. Actually, maybe this time go to the water park there. Didn't get a chance to do that. And maybe hire a bike and go for a bike ride around there. I wanted to do that last time. Didn't get a chance. The thing is, it's so humid. Like, I can't explain how unless you've been to Singapore and you know. But when it's like 32 degrees, and like humidity's in the 80s, 90s, and it's a struggle. Like it's struggle. I mean, we struggled in that heat, in the humidity. Like we used to heat, but the humidity was just constant, day and night. It was just, and it drains you. All you want to do is drink and drink and drink and drink. And the drinks aren't that great over there. They weren't that nice. I mean, at least I haven't tried all the drinks there, but ones we had were a bit unique. So yeah, but definitely would love to go back for sure. We got Warner Brothers here. Why not Universal? Because they make movies here as well. That's right, Pauline. They do. In fact, at the studios, even Disney hires those out. Like when they made Pirates of the Caribbean, that's a Disney production. And yeah, so they just got to look at their numbers. Like visitation, they have to have a certain amount of attendance per day. There's days where I remember when I worked at Movie World on off-peak, winter, out of holidays, rainy day, cold day, sometimes there'd be like 600 guests in the whole park. 600. That's like almost nobody when they're spread out in the park. It's literally like nobody. You got more staff operating the park than guests. You know, obviously the park's not going to make money on those days. So a place like Universal, they need crowds every day. Like just they have to sustain what they put into those parks, what they spend. I mean, every business needs to be making profit. So I just don't know. Disney have sniffed around a lot over the years, and they've come to the realization we don't have the population and the visitation. But I think visitors will come, but it's the population that you have to sustain the daily stuff in between the tourist times. And I just don't think they'd survive here. Yeah, so it's attendance issues. Are you ever going back to America? Yeah, definitely it's on the plans. Obviously, I've been quite a few times. I was in Florida last year. Year before that, I was in Hollywood, or LA, all through there. Did theme parks, attractions, that sort of thing. So, Singapore last year. So yes, it's always on the cards. It's just very expensive. So, um, if someone wants to sponsor me, to to go over there to do content, um, I mean I was very fortunate to be invited to go to Epic Universe last year. I mean that was crazy. So can happen, but um, yeah, I mean I'm not the biggest creator. I think my style, and everyone tells me this, and my style is a style where it's not just focused on one thing. It's the whole experience in park, and that's what my whole thing's always been about. Going to the park, this is what you can expect. This is experiences. This is what the events are like, all that kind of thing. And so yeah, I think I give a good overview of things, and that's what I like to do. So I like to give a whole overview of the parks or the attraction. Um, so hopefully get to go and do more. Um, yeah, I haven't got any Disney videos because I didn't visit Disney parks whilst I've been doing YouTube. Just prior actually to that, I did visit Disney Springs last year in Florida. That's not a theme park, but it's a precinct like City Walk, um, which was pretty cool. Um, Being on this side of the world, they don't get as many people through the doors. Correct, they don't. Um, Legoland would work in Australia. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Legoland would work here. Smaller parks. Lego is massive here. Um, yeah, no, I agree. Maybe they need to look at that. Yep, I agree. Um, yeah, I haven't been to Busch Gardens. Yes, I rode Velocicoaster, and I rode Stardust races at Epic Universe, which to me is next level compared to Velocicoaster. I mean, when I rode Velocicoaster before I went there the day before I went to Epic, and I was like, man, this is like the best coaster I've been on ever. And then I rode Stardust races, and I went, man, this is the best coaster I've ever ridden ever. So, um, just different elements, I guess. And the fact there's dueling coasters going on as well. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was just next level to me. It was just next level, like insane. It was just insane. So yeah, for me, Stardust Races is probably my number one now. Um, so far, so far from a coaster perspective, anyway. Not that I've been on. I mean, I've been on a lot of coasters over the years. I don't do the coaster count thing or credit thing because I'm not a obviously I ride coasters and I do theme parks, but I'm not one of these like coaster specific people. There's a lot of people just coasters, 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 coasters. And I do enjoy coasters, definitely, but my main thing is the whole experience: coasters, dark rides, attractions, experiences, all that kind of stuff, all in one. But yeah, that would have to be my favorite. When I was 7 years old, I was in LA and I went to Magic Mountain, Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I rode the original Colossus, which was the world's tallest, fastest, longest wooden roller coaster at that time. Now it's I think called is it called Twisted Colossus now, and it's changed and there's it's made of steel and wood. Um, so haven't been on that one, but I was only 7 and I went on the world's tallest, fastest, longest wooden roller coaster, and it was huge. It just filled the skyline, like it was crazy. So I've always been into that stuff. Um, but yeah, I really enjoy the full total theme park experience. Zoe's off. Thank you, Zoe. Appreciate you. Excuse me. Enjoy your birthday on Friday. Glad you had a good time in Japan. We'll see you around the parks. Yeah, it would be cool to see a Universal or something different down here. I agree. It would definitely be amazing. I mean, don't forget they are supposedly building this other. it's not really a theme park, but sort of they're calling it a theme park, but it's an attraction up in the sunny coast, kind of like a World Expo, kind of like Epcot, but with a couple of rides, precincts, shopping. Like it's gonna be, if it goes ahead, it's gonna be a pretty cool place to check out. But yeah, something different, which is good. Josh says he recently visited Universal Singapore on his last Asia coaster trip and enjoyed it. It's a lot smaller than other Universal parks, but the size is perfect. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's got a good collection. It really does have a good collection of rides. Correct. It really does, actually. That I must say, and the whole I was there just after Minions Land opened, and that is exactly what you get in Florida or in California. It's the same land. There's nothing different about the Minions Land at all. Same ride, everything, same. It's perfect. It was amazing. I loved the Battlestar Galactica coasters, old school but cool. I love that they have the Transformers ride there, Jurassic Park rides, I should say. The Shrek area, a couple of the little rides are cool there. A little coaster, 4D cinema is what it is. In the shop, that little Ferris wheel inside the shop, that was cool. The Sesame Street ride was cool. The special effects show attraction was amazing. I really enjoyed that. Their version of Mississippi Motors, I wasn't impressed with. I think we do it better here at Mississippi Motors, and of course the Mummy ride there is just incredible. So yeah, great selection of rides, great park. Okay, it really is. It's an awesome park. So yeah, I can't wait to go back one day as well. Maybe we'll have a cartel event there one day. You never know. On the 27th of June and July, oh no, June, there's a rodeo. Oh, not sure where that would be. Maybe Brisbane. So Gold Coast Park Audio says the 1995 Tiger Island tune is so good. I'm glad it's back playing in the park again. Well, I have to go and check it out next time I'm there. Interesting. Very interesting. Let me see. Let me see. Sorry, I lost my place. Here we go. I found it again. It's good. Stop looking. I found it. Okay, so Jensen says, starting my own YouTube videos like you, and I got myself a little microphone for my phone. Good luck with that. Definitely audio. Yeah, is very important. Over the years, I had phones with awesome audio, and then you upgraded the phone and the audio was crap. So then I had to go and get another microphone. Then I had one with a cord, kept crackling and cutting out. And then I've got good DJI ones now, which are awesome, except just sometimes they just don't work. You always got to check when you hit that record button. It says it's audio is going through the through the USB port. So sometimes Epic Universe last year, I had those mics, and a couple of times I gave a review off a ride. It wasn't until that night when I was going through and I realized that the mic wasn't, it might have gone flat, or and I'm like, oh. But anyway, it is what it is. But you got to have a good mic for sure. What have we got? Oh, you've got Jensen. Is it Jensen Ackles? Yeah, it says I have a 3D printed supernatural car in my bedroom. That's pretty cool. That's a cool car. Is it an Impala? I think it's an Impala. It's Holla Shane from Darwin. Well, thank you. It's Mahan 25906. Thank you for watching all the way up in Darwin. I appreciate you, and I bet you had a hot, beautiful, sunny day there today. We had rain and cold weather here in the Gold Coast, so jealous. But hi up in Darwin. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm here every second Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Queensland time. However, there's certain weeks where I can't do the live. It's just due to work commitments. So if I'm on, I'm on. All right. Mahan says, I'm medically cleared now after my e-scooter accident. Oh, right. Yeah. That's no good. Well, I'm glad you're medically cleared now for that. From that humidity and Darwin is yeah, that's exactly right. The humidity is it's the same, similar to Singapore, same temperature, same humidity. If you're used to it, then it's fine. But when you're not, it's a struggle. Doesn't Warner Brothers have the Mad Max franchise? Yep, they do. Sorry, but the thing is, excuse me a second. So when for them to use a Warner Brothers franchise, any franchise, but particularly any of the ones they have access to, they have to pay money, big money, right? So if that stunt show they put on was a Mad Max stunt show, they'd probably be paying another $1 million more just to use that franchise. But by choosing a name and a style of show that has no tie to a movie or a franchise, they came up with Spy Chase themselves. They don't have to pay that royalty or that license fee. So there's $1 million. Let's just say it's $1 million. It could be 500,000. Could be more than $1 million. But it's a lot of money. I know it's a lot of money. So that's, I guess, the pros and cons with using IPs. So trust me, they would love to be using IPs everywhere. Reality is they'd need a lot more attendance, more crowds, more spend, more revenue to come to the parks to pay for that. But you could do something as close to it as possible without having to pay that. But places like Universal, where they're all about IPs, they make the movies, they got the money. But it would be good to see more. Even with Fright Nights, they got to pay a lot of money to use an IP in the mazes. That's why sometimes they'll use their own design. Makes more sense. Oh, excuse me. Did I ever go to Planet Hollywood? Yes, I did indeed. I could tell you a quick story about Planet Hollywood, actually. I'll tell you the story. Who wants story time, right? Everyone loves a good story. So, there was a Planet, well, obviously, back in the, when was it? 2000s? 90s? Back in the 90s, Planet Hollywoods were the thing, right? Popping up everywhere. There was even one planned for Surfers Paradise. They even had a shop in Surfers Paradise before the restaurant. And they sold, in fact, I've got somewhere, I wouldn't know where it is now, it'd be in a box. I've got a Planet Hollywood Surfers Paradise mug and I think a t-shirt. And then the restaurant never eventuated. And then that shut down. So anyway, the story about Planet Hollywood, they were opening one in Auckland when I was still living over there. Must have been about the year 2000, maybe. I'm thinking. So obviously with those restaurants, they had a retail store downstairs attached where you could buy all the merch. And they had a job advertised for a retail manager. And I was a retail manager at the time. And I thought, wow, I'd love to work for Planet Hollywood as the retail manager for the store. So I applied for the job and I got a job interview. So I went to the interview. It was like during the week. American guy. He was in charge of the, what do you call it? The Australasian Planet Hollywood. So there was one in Sydney where he was based. So he was based in Sydney, and the one in Sydney. And he was over here setting the new one up in Auckland, or over in Auckland, and looking for staff and looking for managers and the retail manager. Anyway, we had we got on so well. We had it was an awesome job interview. He basically said to me at the end of the interview, he goes, listen, I actually want to hire you. for the job. And I went, really? And he says, yeah, but he says, because at the time I was working for, what was I working? I can't remember. I think I was working for Kmart or somewhere as a manager. I might have left there and been doing another store manager job somewhere. But I was doing large format retailing, and this was actually quite a small shop. And he showed me the floor plans. He said, "This is a really small shop." He goes, "I think you're just going to be a bit bored going from what you've done to this, and I don't think I can pay you the money you probably deserve." And I'm like, oh, okay. I said, yeah, okay, I get that. Once I had a look at it all, I said, yeah, okay. Well, I don't know how big the store was going to be, but I knew it wouldn't be a Kmart size. I knew it was small, but didn't know how small. Excuse me. So anyway, he said, yeah. He said, but he goes, it's a shame because he said, man, I'd love to have you on board and stuff. And I said, oh, well, that's cool. He goes, oh, my Sydney one's a bit bigger. I said, oh, this was like on I don't know, early in the week, Tuesday or something. And I said, maybe Wednesday. And I said, well, actually, we're flying to Sydney this weekend, and we're planning to go to Planet Hollywood on Saturday night for dinner, and I'm going to check it out. I'll have a look. And he said, I'm glad you've told me this because it's not open this Saturday night. And I'm like, oh, you're kidding me. He goes, no, it's actually it's been hired out. This must have been the late 90s, maybe not quite 2000. He says it's a private. It's been hired out for a private function. I said, that's a shame. I said, because we're only there for a few days. Because I actually won a competition. On another note, there was a TV show like Home and Away, but years ago called Breakers, filmed in set in Bondi Beach, right in Sydney. And I won a competition to go and visit the TV sets of Breakers and meet the stars and all that. Excuse me. And we only had 3 days there. And that's what we were going to do Saturday night. We'd fly back on the Sunday night. I think we're flying out on the Friday. Yeah. Anyway, whatever it was. He said, okay, I'll tell you what. He says, I'm going to invite you to, he goes, I'll be there on the Saturday night. I'm going to invite you as my guest to the event. I'll fit you in. I'll fit you into this event. I said, don't put it yourself out. He says, look, it is a private event. He says, but I am hosting it. So just, he said, just be at the front at, I think it was like 6:30 p.m. or something. Ask for me. I'll come down. I'll get you a table. Done. I'm like, amazing. Anyway, on the flight over, he was on the same flight as us. So we got to talk to him again. This is such a nice guy, by the way. And then anyway, went to into the city on that Saturday night, went to Planet Hollywood. It was like, there was security out the front, and there was, because it was closed off. It was a busy part of the city, but it was closed to the public. So the security were, turning people away left, right, and center. We went up, and there was I think there was like even like on a red carpet there, but we thought, okay, that's just normal like thing, I guess. But anyway, we got let in. He came down, so we had a look at the shop, and it was amazing. I always remember seeing like the Terminator 2 statue in there at the beginning, at the entry there, Arnie. Looking at all the merch, it was cool. He took us upstairs, and he said, look, this is a private function, but he said, if you don't mind, just, I'll give you a table. You can go to the bar, you just grab a drink, whatever you want. It's fine. It's on us. I'm like, wow. And he says, yeah, your meal's on us as well. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, thank you so much. I didn't expect all this. He said, that's fine. And he says, look, just if you see some people you recognize, just, don't approach them if you don't mind, because it is a private function. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm thinking, who could it be possibly? But anyway, we sat down, went to the bar, got drinks. We started noticing a few people like, hey, isn't that so-and-so? Isn't that so-and-so? Sort of movie stars. We're like, this is interesting. And then anyway, he came over and he said, everything okay? Yeah. He says, I'll take you for a tour. They had a private cinema where you could actually, they had like previews of movies there and things like that. He showed us all through there. The whole venue, it was incredible. We were treated really, really nicely. And anyway, it was my wife and I, and we're like, this is like, there's a lot of famous people here. Like, this is crazy. We recognize all these people. But we, when they're just mingling in their own people and that. And we're like, and it's sort of half dark, like, because it's, restaurants, dim lighting and other lighting and stuff. And anyway, we're there for quite a few hours or a few hours. Anyway, we left and thanked him and stuff. And he said, "Oh, did you see anyone you knew here?" And we're like, "Yeah, we did, but we're not sure." And he says, "Oh, yeah, well, you might have seen Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne and that." So it was the Matrix rap party. So the original Matrix film was filmed in Sydney, and they'd finished filming, and it was their rap party that hired the whole venue out. So it must have been in the late 90s, I think. How cool was that? We were at the Matrix rap party, not knowing actually, but we were going, "Hey, isn't that so and so and so and so?" Like, it was crazy. So yeah, there's a story about Planet Hollywood that we'll never forget. It was amazing, incredible. It's a shame that they haven't lasted here down in Australia and New Zealand, but I guess not everything lasts forever. Anyway, that was story time. So sometimes we have show and tell, sometimes we have story time and question time. So thanks for listening. Hope I didn't drop too many people off to sleep during that story. But anyway, we'll carry on. We'll carry on with your questions. Where the old cars used to be at the back of the dream world, I would like to see that become area where they could extend the animal area, have more kangaroos and more animals. There is definitely a plan for that area, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be for the animal area. I agree. It'd be nice for them to extend it even more, but I'm pretty sure that might have been one of the things that Greg discussed that we can't talk about. So there will eventually be something there for sure. Yeah, and you're right. That area got destroyed from that tornado we had. It's still pretty it's still pretty wrecked in there at the moment. So Jensen saying I've got 21 Funko Pops and Supernatural, Disney, Scooby-Doo, Ghostbusters, and Stranger Things, and Harry Potter's and Fantastic Beast. There's a few of those kinds in this collection as well, but yeah, just lots of different ones. Hey, Cooper, thanks for jumping on. Good to have you on here. Yeah, it has been a while, mate. So I'll see you again soon. I hope around the traps. Laura Jessica saying she just went on Twisted Colossus recently. It's an RNC hybrid now. Excellent. That's cool. Great concert. SFMM is a great coaster park, but overall experience is like a park plonked on a car park. Yeah, they tend to do that over there, eh? Just lots of parks just put here, 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 and here. That's what they do. Today there's only 59 days to go until the Brisbane Ekka from the 8th to the 16th of August. Geez, that comes around quick, doesn't it? Yeah, I normally take a visit to that. It's getting more expensive though. Anyway, we'll see. Laura says, I'm generally more of a coaster enthusiast, but I do enjoy certain flats and dark rides. I enjoy watching your videos. Thank you very much. Keeps me up to date. That's what we try and do. Your coverage on King Claw and Jungle Rush made me travel. Oh, well, there you go. Well, I'm glad you're able to travel and enjoy some of the attractions over here too. I'm going on the 27th of June to the rodeo. Yeah, you should film it. That'd be cool. Pauline's going to the Christmas event on the 27th. I'm not sure if I'm going to be there on that night. I might be. I might not be. I don't know. I don't know yet. Got to see what else is going on. Oh, okay. Is that why Movie World and I still prefers the old stuff like Scooby-Doo and Batman? Maybe. They still pay money for that stuff though, for sure. Hey, Jason. Imagine if they had a Mad Max themed. Yeah, I know it would be cool, but I just don't know if they'll pay the money to use the IP. Maybe one day they might. definitely a strong IP. Am I from New Zealand? Yes, I am originally. Auckland. So, but I've been there for 20. I moved here in 2002. That's a long time. Mike says, awesome story on Planet Hollywood. No dramas. Can you explain a bit more about why Movie World has to pay a fee to something like Mad Max, even though they own it? Well, so Movie World does. So Movie World doesn't own it. It's Warner Brothers that own it. So Movie World theme parks, so Village Roadshow theme parks, it has separate owners, and they operate the theme park, and they use they pay money to use Warner Brothers as a name or destination. Excuse me. So if you look at, so when I worked there years ago, at the time, we were building an identical theme park in Germany, and it was called Warner Brothers Movie World Germany, and it still operates today. And when you go there, it has the same front entrance, has the same fountain, has the same main street, same buildings. The park is almost an exact replica without the roof, because Movie World never used to have the roof in the main street either. There's a few slight layout differences, and certainly there's ride differences as well. But what happened was, same thing. They, after a period of time, after it opened, it just got so expensive for them to keep using all of those IPs that they changed the name to just Movie Park Germany. So it's just called Movie Park Germany. So all of a sudden, they got more cash in their bank because they're not paying to use all those IPs. They still actually do have some pretty good IPs in the park, but they're ones that don't cost as much to use. All right. So I think like they have a Van Helsing ride, but then they have a generic ride, like a movie studio type ride, filmed, generic. So they're able to do it a smart way like that. I really did think that was going to happen here as well, but no, they've managed to hang on and still use Warner Brothers Movie World. So Movie World here doesn't own Warner Brothers. They Village Roadshow Theme Parks pays for the rights to use those IPs and name in their park and all that kind of thing, characters, everything. So that's how it kind of works. So if they're gonna, it's like Friday nights. If they want to put like when they've had Conjuring, for example, as a maze, which Conjuring, I don't know if that's Warner Brothers or Universal, I can't remember, or Paramount, but they, whatever it is, they still have to pay to use the IP for that period of time. But then there's strict guidelines around, well, it has to be this, it has to be that, it has to reflect that precisely. So lots of restrictions. Do I think BGH Capital, they said they're the people that own a lot of Movie World, is the reason Movie World has declined in quality? The business model is cost savings. Look, potentially. Keeping in mind there has been in the news recently multi-million-dollar embezzlement going on. Not sure of any detail behind that. Don't know where in the business that's happened. But if there has been millions of dollars siphoned, if you call, when you run, when you put the wrong petrol in your car and you got to get the funnel and the hose and siphon it out. There's been money being siphoned out of Movie World, going into who knows whose pockets. Obviously, they're in the middle of, I don't know where they're at with that, investigations or prosecutions. I'm not sure. Corporate embezzlement's pretty serious. So anyway, I don't even have a clue. I don't work there, so I don't know. Who's involved, but there's been money that they could have, that's money they could have used for reinvesting into the parks. I mean, I guess, I don't know. But look, you're right. That company is, cost saving, use a cost saving business model. And yes, I know from when I worked there, the cost of running that park is high, and you can save, particularly labor and food and retail. Like, you have to save money on wages. Like, you can't, if there's people aren't coming into the gate and spending, you got to drop your wages. You got to close stores or change the operating hours to the stores. run a store that was running on 3 down to 1 and have a coverage for brakes instead. You got to think differently to cost save. So yes, it's probably part of the thing as well. Park Pulse, thanks for jumping on. Hello to you too. John's off. Thanks, mate. Appreciate you and keeping all the information flowing. Thank you. Yeah, we had Lethal Weapon ride at Warner Brothers when it opened. I used to love that ride, except used to bang the head around a bit. Used to feel a little bit nauseous from the head banging on that one. So the theming was awesome, though. I got to say, the theming was pretty awesome. What's the best rides I've ever been on? Stardust Races roller coaster Epic Universe is my favorite, best coaster I've ever been on. Let's just say, I'd have to say probably Ministry of Magic at Epic Universe in Florida would have to be one of the best rides and theming wise and the ride experience and the whole land, in fact, that I've ever been on. I would have to say it would be that one. Monsters Unchained, also Epic Universe, in Dark Universe is also pretty close, but I think Harry Potter, like the Ministry of Magic, is just next level. Put it this way, in that land alone, that one, so Epic Universe is like 5 different like theme parks really, or lands, but that Harry Potter land just at Epic Universe in Florida, I believe they spent on that whole land alone $1 billion. So you can think what you get for $1 billion. Our whole theme parks don't cost $1 billion. So you know what I mean? Like next level, if you just dream it, they've done it. Next level. If you don't know what I'm talking about, scroll back on my channel, search Epic Universe. I've got videos from when I was there last year. I was there a month before it opened to the public, but I was there on the first day that everything was operating like it should be, like as if it was open to the public. They had about, I think there's what about it been about maybe 5 or 10? No, I think about 10,000 people that day. It was all just invited guests, staff, family, friends only. So it wasn't open to the public because I think that park holds 80,000 people, 60,000 maybe, something like that, capacity wise. But yeah, it was insane. So check out some of those videos; they're pretty cool. But I'd have to say, yeah, I'm big on theming and ride experiences. I do love coasters, of course, and I always ride coasters, but I'm not all about the coasters. Like I love the Donkey Kong minecart ride. It's a coaster, but it's a more of a themed attraction kind of thing, and coaster in one, but small, but just the whole experience you get on that ride is what I love. But yeah, you got to check out Ministry of Magic. Incredible. Ryder's off for the night. Thanks, Ryder. Appreciate you. We'll see you around the parks, mate. Overall, Laura Jessica saying overall, Dreamworld is looking better than Movie World at the moment. Probably have to agree. Yep. Rivertown is superior. It certainly is compared to Wizard of Oz. Yeah. Look, and interestingly, one of the things, Greg, I can say this because wasn't confidential or anything, but one of the things Greg mentioned about Rivertown. So, around Murrissippi Motors. So it's a hugely highly themed land, but there's certain parts of that where there's that black mesh fencing, right? That was never, ever, ever supposed to have any black mesh fencing ever in that area. Ever. Wasn't even on the plan. However, due to whatever reason, that they were unable to get the rest of those parts to finish that area, they had to put that in. from a safety perspective. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to open it, right? Now that it's in, though, to pull it out and then put other stuff in there, it's just probably not feasible, like not really cost effective. And we're kind of used to that now. So imagine how good it would look with even out that. Now, one of the things that has been not by me, but has been highly criticized about the Wizard of Oz area by many other people is all the black chainmail fencing all around that whole ride. It's like you're in a jail. And look, it is what it is. It's a safety thing, right? If something falls off the ride, you're protected. Um, but I don't know. Is it an overkill? Is it an eyesore? A little bit, but it's. I think enthusiasts look at things differently to the public. So if you think about, if you go and keep in mind too, they had to repurpose that building and everything. And they didn't knock it down flat and start again. If they did, I think things would look a lot different. But it was repurposed. Rivertown was completely knocked down from what it was to scratch to nothing. That's the difference. And I think that's you can see that. But what I look at is the guests. When you see families with their kids holding their hands, skipping down the yellow brick road, singing or whatever, and then meeting the characters, and then the laughing and the screaming, the happy screams, of coming off the rides and things. They're not worried about the chainmail fencing up the top, above them, all around the place. Do you know what I mean? It's all about the experience, and I think they do that well. And the characters are incredible and amazing. So, look, I just think the one thing that I think personally they could have done better is how you enter the land, because I really feel that even now, you go to the front of the park, and if you've never been there before, you're gonna go, where do I go to Wizard? How do I get to Wizard of Oz land? Where do I go? There's no signage pointing anywhere. If you think about the movie Wizard of Oz, if you think back to if you've watched the original, when they're on their journey on the yellow brick road, what do they get to before the land of Oz? They get to the Munchkin village, right? So, but in the way the land's set out, is you walk around from the Superman ride down on the yellow brick road next to Superman, and then you go into the Wizard of Oz land, and then the Munchkin village is over there. So, this is my own personal feelings and opinion. So when Lethal Weapon first opened years ago in that same location, the only way you could get to that was next to the bakery, which is now the pizza shop, and the bank. And they had a big archway there that said Lethal Weapon the ride. And then you walk down Chinatown with all the lanterns hanging above you, Chinatown shops like movie sets. And then when you walk around the corner, you saw the big building from Lethal Weapon. And you saw the gas station. And you think, wow, then you can see the coaster. It was a reveal. So in my opinion, they should have, and I know that area is used for back of house now, but it used to have it open so they can do it again. They can reconfigure it again. Just gates, done, easy. That should have been the entrance to the Wizard of Oz from Main Street. That should have been right there. And then as you walk through the archway, you get to the Munchkin Village. Then you go down the yellow brick road, and then it reveals out to the Wizard of Oz temple or castle, whatever you want to call it. What do you guys think? That's what I think. That's how I think it should have been designed. I don't know why it wasn't designed like that. I don't know. I actually don't. I can't. I haven't mentioned or asked anyone actually about it. But don't you think that would be better? And then the characters, instead of being all the way down in the land, they could be at the entrance of the Wizard of Oz to do some of their singing performances, which is also around Main Street where the bulk of the people are during the day. Again, that's just my opinion. Who am I? But I mean, why didn't they do that? What do you guys think? Do you think I'm right, or do you think that's just a crazy, stupid idea, and it's good how it is? See, out of all everything they've done, I think that's the one thing that they could have done better. Not really worried about the safety mesh, chainmail, and all that. That's just what it is. But that's just what I think about the Wizard of Oz area. So yeah, if you're Laura, if you're thinking about both of them, Rivertown's definitely more of a complete theme land without a doubt. You're immersed. It's more immersive. More immersive. All right. Okay. What is the worst ride? What that I've ever been on? Stratosphere. It made me so sick. The Flying Dinosaur at Universal Japan is amazing. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, Riley told me about it. I do have to check that park out. Absolutely. One day, money. Do you think they should bring back Tower of Terror at Dreamworld? That was awesome, but that they can't bring that version back. There's only one. I think no. I think there's none others now in the world. Is there? I think the other one there was is gone now. I think too. I think I might be wrong. Actually, I might be wrong, but someone else would know for sure. Yeah, I don't know. When you think back to when you used to go to Dreamworld, I always think of two main noises that I always heard, which made me, um, you know that you're a Dreamworld. One is that Tower of Terror scream. It was just crazy. And then the steam train, that's your steam train whistle, and that's what I remember hearing: the steam train whistle and that Tower of Terror noise across the park. That was Dreamworld to me. That was the noise of Dreamworld, the audio of Dreamworld. It'd be cool though. Did Epic Universe invite you out to the opening? So yeah, they did it, but not to the opening day. So I was invited out, full access a month before it opened to the public, and but it was the first day where they had to actually have the park open like it was open to the public. So they had some US content creators come out, I think a week or two before that. There was some limitations and they had to be escorted around. When I was there, it was like a normal day, like you would go in as a guest. Everything was open. Food, retail, you go wherever you want, whenever you want, get on whatever ride, whatever you want to do. The Measure of Magic ride was only available via like a lottery system on the app. You had to go in and try and get yourself a session. And I was lucky enough that I got one because not everyone got one, and I got one. So I got on every ride, every single ride I got on in the whole day. I literally didn't even eat that day. I had one drink the whole day. I was there from open to close, and I was the very last guest to leave the park. And I got locked in the car park. I couldn't get out at night because it wasn't open to the public. You had to go to a certain exit I wasn't aware of. And I was calling an Uber, and the Ubers are calling me going, "Where I can't get in. I don't know where you are." I'm like, "Just come down to this part," and they're like, "The gates are locked." I'm like, "Oh." So anyway, luckily, I was able to walk back through, found a security, and I got out. But yeah, yeah. So that was incredible, and everything was working that day too. Everything, all the shows were on. Everything was just as it was, as if it was a normal day. And that's what they do for a month. They trade it like that, just with invited people, friends and family only. And then opening day is opening day. But what they did for opening day, which was smart, is they had limited capacity because they wanted everyone to have a really good experience on opening day, not a day where you couldn't move and you couldn't get on a ride. I think Riley went on opening day, and he said it was cruisy as it was good. But obviously a week or so after that, or a few days after that, it was nuts. So yeah, but no, I was very fortunate and spoilt, and put up in one of their newest hotels that they just built. So they built 3 hotels. There was the one I stayed at was the Terra Luna. Oh, there was also what was the other one? Stella something. I can't remember. Still got my hotel keys here. Okay, you can't even see that probably. No, hang on. Why can't you see that? It's just going to flare right out, isn't it? Anyway, I'll show you something. So, yeah, this is my hotel. This is my hotel key. So they give you like a credit card hotel key, and they've got different. I had two keys for some reason, but there were different pictures on, just like credit card, right? It's like a normal credit card. So that's your room key. I stayed in room 8032, so on the 8th story, and I looked straight across to Epic Universe. The other hotel, which the Terra Luna, and the other one, which was the Stella, I can't remember the name of it. It's straight across the road. And then there's the Helios, which is in park, the most grandest of grandest one. I didn't stay there, but that would have been nice. But yeah, if you stay at the Universal properties, like these hotels or any other Universal property, you take your hotel key to the park, then you get early entry. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it was cool, and I literally flew to Florida, and they gave me tickets to Islands of Adventure, Park Hopper, and they gave me tickets to obviously to Universal Studios, and then to Epic Universe, and then I flew home. So I had 4 days in Florida. I was only in there 4 days in Florida. Flew in on the Monday at like midnight, and then Tuesday was Islands of Adventure. Wednesday was Epic Universe. Thursday was Universal Studios, and I flew home Friday. Well, actually, yeah, Friday night. So I went to Disney Springs just for a look around before I went to the airport. And then I flew to San Francisco direct from Orlando, and then San Fran. Like literally an hour and a half later. Excuse me, an hour and a half later. San Fran to Brisbane. A long day, but heading over there was Brisbane to San Fran to Denver, Denver to Orlando. That was a lot of travel, all in one hit. 30 something hours. Anyway, it is what it is. It's a long way away. It's a heck of a long way away. Excuse me 1 second. We'll have to end this soon. I'm starting to get a crackly voice. But anyway, yeah. Pretty cool. Movie World's birthday was last week. Yeah, they had their 35th birthday, didn't they? It was pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, Laura, so the queue times, there was still wait times, but not like, I think the maximum I waited might have been like 45 minutes, maybe hour on one or two things, but then the rest was straight on that at Epic. So it was pretty good. Mind you, I had a couple of times where I was with someone from Universal, and they were an executive manager. So they, their executive pass gets themselves and whoever's with them straight on Ride Express, straight to the front. So we just walk straight on, like Stardust Races, straight on there. Monsters Unchained. So yeah. You will become a cool Anaconda maze for Fright Night. You never know. They might have one there. Yeah, they might do. You never know. You never know. What ride will you not go on? Serpent Slayer. I can't do that. That's too crazy for me. Anything really spinning and crazy, can't do it. Laura says, I agree. Tennis court fencing, maybe I'm just overly critical, but it was hyped to be Disney level, and I just feel it's a bit short. Yeah, I think that's the general feeling. Would be nice if they had a flat ride in there as well. Yeah, I agree. Cooper says, personally for me, something that the Wizard of Oz land and Movie World lacks is when you enter the big green building, there's like nothing in there. Empty with low lighting. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It should be something more in there. But everyone just in the heat, they just sit around on the floor. Park Pulse says the thing about the Wizard of Ozland, when you walk down that yellow brick road and you still have to turn the corner to see the Emerald City. No big reveal. It's just placed awkwardly. Yeah, that's sort of what I was saying with how I feel it should be done the other way around. That would be perfect, but I don't know. There must be a reason why that was never thought of or done, I guess. So yeah, it's there could have been a lot more done, I guess. Yeah. Um Henry says, "Are you going to bring back streaming in the parks?" Yeah, of course. Yep, absolutely. It's just a timing thing, but I've got some been working on some plans and what I'm doing. So yeah, I'll be definitely doing some more streams in the parks, YouTube, and also probably on TikTok. Because I mean, I'm not like I'm on all platforms. YouTube is my main platform, right? But obviously, I've got to be on all platforms to drive traffic to my YouTube channel. However, like I'm not huge. I'm probably more active on Instagram than anything else. I've got stuff on TikTok. I don't know. I've got like a few thousand followers. Like it's not small, I guess. What am I sitting at here? Where am I on TikTok? Home. Okay, I got 3,397 followers on TikTok. So like it's not bad, but I'm not I'm not on there every single. Sorry, I lost some light then. I'm not on there every single day. I'm not, you know. Again, I work full time anyway. This is a weekend hobby for me, so I'm not on everything all the time. I just can't be. Um, Look, I know if I was posting a heck of a lot more on TikTok, I'd be a lot bigger on TikTok. Um, but you know, you've got to make a decision. What are you going to be more active on? In Australia, you're only paid on YouTube. You're not paid on TikTok. Like in the US, you're paid on TikTok. That's why most people over there are on TikTok and Instagram too. I think they get paid for that too. We don't here. So you got to go where the money is. It's not a lot of money, but you got to go where the money is. So um, yeah, I guess I could be doing more YouTube shorts and that as well, which also drives people to the main channel. It's just hard. I do everything myself, and again, I work long hours, Monday to Friday, and I have my one day of filming on a Saturday, and then I got to edit and put out, and plus, got to mow the lawn, I got to wash the cars, I got to spend time with the family, I still got all the other household life stuff to do, so it's kind of challenging at times. So I think for what I do, I don't do a bad job of it. So, but but yeah, follow me on all those platforms anyway. Um, and then yeah, you'll get a little bit of everything. Some so including some of the live streaming. So thing with reason why I go at TikTok is um TikTok opens up to the whole entire public, right? Whereas when I stream on YouTube, it's only to those who are subscribed, or if you just so happen to be searching and find a live stream going on, right? So, um, you get and so if I get more people jumping on a live stream like on TikTok, then hopefully I get a percentage of those people that may subscribe to the YouTube channel. So that's the thought process behind that. But yeah, so again, they're all free. There's no cost involved for you guys to subscribe or follow on any of those platforms. So I'm not I am on Facebook as well, but I'm not really active that much at all on Facebook, to be honest. I think it's a platform that's kind of like not as popular as it used to be. So for me anyway. So yeah, YouTube number one, and probably Instagram number two, TikTok number three. So yeah, that's how that kind of works for me. So yeah, you'll see more. You'll see more streaming, random stuff too, random streaming rather than planned a lot of the time. Um, Please shout out again. I gave a shout out before. The Bacallo Beach City Hub. Again, big shout out. Thank you for jumping on and joining the live stream. I appreciate you and everyone, of course, as well. Yeah, Scooby Doo. It would make sense to have it through past Scooby Doo. That's right. Sorry, I just want to again the Bacallo Beach City Hub. I've seen you put a comment there like several times. Shout out. I can only get so far through the comments. You know what I mean? Like I'm reading through the comments, so it's not like I've only just got to your comment now. So I appreciate that, trying to get through everyone's comments. But yeah, gave you a shout out. Give another shout out. Thanks again. Appreciate your support. Thanks for checking the channel out. Thanks for jumping on the live stream as well. Always appreciated. I'm going to meet you in Queensland around 2 weeks because I'm in Melbourne. I'm going there June 24th. Awesome. That'd be cool. Laura Jessica says there's no more TT2 models left. It was a hydraulic launch, I believe. Yeah, the Terra. Yeah. I don't know. I think it was electromagnetic because we were told that every time they launched that ride, it used more power or electricity than the whole Dreamworld used in a year just running it once. So that was another reason to get rid of that ride. It was a very, very expensive ride to run and operate. Technology was older back in those days, I guess. So yeah, but again, maybe it was hydraulic, just maybe used, or obviously it uses electricity, I guess. But yeah, that was, I think the cost of running that was huge. Yeah, and they're all being replaced with LSMs. Yeah, I think that will, like even Superman, I wonder if they'll put an LSM in there one day. They might do, maybe. My favorite ride at Dream World is Gold Coaster, but it gives me headaches. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's funny because I've ridden a few other Aero coasters, and that one there seems to give me the worst, headache out of all of them. I don't know what it is. It's really weird. I'm impressed with the outside and inside of the Emerald City. The scope and the feel was immersive. The land itself feels dead and isolated. Not much happens in that area. Yeah, like the theming, like when you go through the Flight of the Wicked Witch area for the forest and everything. And then the same with the Kansas Twister, like the house. It was pretty cool. It's definitely really good theming in there. So, yeah, it's a shame it's sort of, I guess there's only so much money they got to. So, that's right. Yeah, BGH have to be responsible for the way Wizard of Oz precinct looks. Absolutely. 100%. They certainly do. I don't know if they'll do much more to it, to be honest, but who knows? They might do. What about Grand Florida Resort? I didn't stay there. No, I didn't stay at Grand Florida Resort. Just the Terra Luna. And I got close to the Helios on site, but didn't get in there. What are they? When are they bringing the Wizard of Oz characters back? Hopefully before the holidays. I think they're just getting, maybe fix up. I didn't think they were that bad though. So, I don't know if they. I think they did need a little bit of TLC. They've been out there a fair while, so obviously they've been a bit of weather. People sort of, always touching them, photos with them, so they probably get a little bit scratched up in that. So I'd say they're all just getting refreshed before the school holidays. So I'd say you'd probably be back really soon, I'd imagine. Especially since Movie World is working more limited space than Dream World. Important that they're maximizing it. 100%. The Bacallo Beach Club, City Club, another shout out, mate. I gave you a shout out. Give you more shout outs. Again, I'll get to the comments when I can get to the comments. Hey, Straws, thanks for jumping on. Really appreciate you jumping on. I'm good, mate. Yeah, they're doing a bit of work on Wild West Falls. Yeah, I hope too that the all the effects get set back to how they should be, because that just helps, with the immersiveness and helps complete the ride. Without those, yeah, the ride definitely loses something, right? So it's definitely, we need to see all of the effects working again. So we'll see when it reopens. We'll have to take a ride and check it all out. But you're right, the voices at the top of the lift hill, it's been years. It has absolutely been years. So hopefully we'll see it very soon, fixed up again. Fingers crossed. I was at Movie World the first week it opened. Oh, wow. There you go. I was there, I think, the second year, maybe not the first week. That's cool. Pretty different now. Yeah. The Looney Tune River ride. Yeah. That was the best. That was one of the best rides I ever had there. It's such a shame they had to go. What happened to the motor coaster? I'd say it'll get sold off. Probably end up in India, like the Claw. The Claw is at what's it called? It's in Universal, not Universal Studios, something Kingdom, Universal something Kingdom. I knew I had it written down. In India, Universal Kingdom, India. VGP, Universal Kingdom, India. So that is where you will find the Claw. It's called Flying Tiger. They didn't repaint it, nothing. Just same. We knew it was being sold because when they took it down, it was being very carefully removed. Unlike the Lethal Weapon, they just cut it up as they removed it. So yeah, you never know. It could end up over there. But we don't know yet. They haven't announced anything that's going on with that area yet, so we'll have to wait and see. I hope White Water World gets some new attractions for capacity. Yeah, look, hopefully, because I can tell you, out of the fully 6 rides, 2 of which have been closed now for a long time, years, they're going to never reopen. So they may get removed or they may get reconfigured and reach, I don't know, but the current 2 are not going to, the 2 that are closed are going to stay closed. So yeah, they might do something there, but there's not really a huge amount of room unless they push back further. They could push back a bit further. There is space at the back. I know they were going to put a lazy river in there. Don't think that plan is going ahead still, though. I think that was for some reason terminated. We'll see. You never know. Terra was linear. Oh, yeah, LSM motor, magnetic launch system. Cool. Which uses a lot of power. Love the stream and videos. Have a coffee on me. Oh, thank you very much. That's appreciated. I always appreciate anyone who takes time to buy us a coffee. It's really, really, really appreciated. So thank you for that. I'll get to the coffees on the emails in due course. Thank you. If they do put an LSM at Superman, it would make the launch different. Yeah, I think they'd have to extend it, I think. Or something. First it was a motor coaster to get removed. Now I think it's Gold Coaster next. 31 years old. Look, maybe, but it's pretty nostalgia ride. So, I don't know. Maybe. You never know. It could be Could be next on the list. I'm going to make a video of the DC parade. That's cool. Yeah, that's always a good parade to focus on. When did you have the event? Did anyone ask the question about Dreamworld's future master plan? Or when you had the event? Yeah, we did. And yeah, there were certain things that were discussed there. So again, he was pretty transparent with everyone in the group. He just made it clear that you get what's discussed stays in the room on the most part. But yeah, look, he just touched on some of the stuff that had already been announced as well. They're definitely pushing ahead toward the hotel. So, the hotel, I would say, definitely will be going ahead without any doubt. And would be, that they will do it properly, a proper themed hotel. So, watch this space. Where does the water go when they drain the water from wet and for Wild West on the Wild West? So there's holding tanks. There is actually tanks that the water goes. It doesn't just go down the drain hole. So same with White Water World at the moment. We walked through there with our Behind the Thrills. We walked into the wave pool, mate. All of us, and there's no water in it. That holds like so many millions of liters. So they have storage tanks. And then whatever can't fit into those just gets released. Do you remember when we had about a few Mondays ago, a few weeks ago on the Gold Coast, and it was so much rain, and then all this flood happened as well? That's when they released all the water, just flooded everything. No, I'm just joking. There's tanks. Maybe a little bit gets lost, but it's basically it goes into tanks and then filtered and put back in. Can you give me any tips for Serpent Slayer? Don't go on it is my tip, because I have never been on it and I don't want to go on it because that will make me completely ill. So I'm sorry, you'll have to ask someone else for a tip on that one. I'm just going to tell you that I think it's a horrible ride. Okay, maybe the tip I can give you is to go on mild style first, not wild style. All right, so there's two different versions. The mild style, slower version, not so full on, and then there's the wild style. Don't do that one first. That's all I can say. Rivertown new spotlights look good when they're shining up on the trees. Yes, absolutely. Can't wait to see it again at night for the Christmas event. I'm not actually sure what's wrong with those two slides exactly. They didn't mention it exactly. I think it's something to do with I don't think they're broken or cracked. I think it's something to do with the design of them. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe, yeah, I'm just not sure. Yeah, Straws, you're right. They wanted to make the lazy river something better. Well, there's a lot of cool lazy rivers in other parks. I think, is it the Disney one in Florida? Is it Volcano? What is it? I can't remember, but Volcano Bay, is it? And it turns into rapids as well. So it's lazy river, then there's rapids, and there's a whole lot of gush of water comes out here and stuff. So that would be what they'd want to put in, something cool like that. That's completely different, not just a lazy river. That's what I like to see, but it costs a lot of money. A lot of money. Can you give me tips for? Oh, we did read that one. Will the theme park cartel ever have guests like Greg, for example? Look, potentially we have spoken about it. So it's certainly a possibility. Yes, it's a possibility. We've discussed a lot of things for it. And so even though we've said we're not going to be doing it as often, when we do the podcast, they're going to be like worth listening to. It's not just going to be like, oh, here's another update. It's going to be like, this is a trip report, or this is an event report, or this, hey, we've got a special guest on. Yeah, there's going to be something gives more value, we think, to you guys who are listening. So yeah, certainly on the cards. Do you know about the Blue Lagoon Mountain at Dreamworld? Yeah, I've even swam at that park when I was a kid. I don't think. Look, they're keeping that volcano there for nostalgia purposes at the moment. It may or may not get repurposed to something else in the future, but for now, yeah, it is closed off and it's still there and it won't get removed for now. Don't do it dehydrated. Drink a lot of water before going on. Ah, yeah, yeah, Slayer. Just don't have a milkshake before you go on it, I reckon. Um, Wally Mack says, I've been planting fruits. I have been planting veggies. I have been planting flowers. They are going great. Uh, that's good. I'll tell you what, there should be more of that because um, things are getting expensive to buy. So it makes sense that, yeah, doing your own fruit, veggies, and plants and things. I think more and more people should be doing that. It's a very good idea. What do you think? What do you think there are no B&M coasters in Australia despite probably the biggest company? Yeah, good point. It's very interesting. Well, I don't know why there's not, but there should be. There should be indeed. I think the thing is, um, Mac Rides and Intamin, like they just have, so many good rides that are proven around the world. So, and they've got good relationships with the parks here. So potentially, when you've got good partnerships with the companies, and support and all the rest of it, and parts and things, why change to another, I guess, supplier? But I mean, they do. Like for example, there's Leviathan. That's a different coaster manufacturer as well. So they do it from time to time. But yeah, it would be good to have a B&M. They've got space. They can put definitely a new kind of coaster in at Dreamworld. They could do it there easy. We'll see. We'll see. Um, are you possibly saying that the old water park at Dreamworld might become the area where the hotel might be built? Look, that could be. I think that might be the case. Um, they haven't said specifically, but I think they are looking at that side of the park. So potentially that could be what they're doing there. Because if you think about it, um, where else could they really put it? Um, Possibly at the back of the park, but I think having it to the side of the park would be the ultimate, um, access wise too. So, but yeah, until they actually announce it, we don't know for sure. But I know that would be definitely potentially a site there. Well, not just on that little spot. That's a little spot, but there's a whole heap of land out the back there. A Mr. Eureka mountain ride. Yeah, I like that little mountain mine ride. That was pretty exhilarating. It was really cool. Straws can't do Serpent Slayer either. Last time, so sick you almost couldn't drive home. That's the thing, right? It just ruins your day after that. And when you can't, when you just want to just sit there and not move, thinking you're going to throw up, it's terrible. It's terrible. So yeah, stay off it. Good plan. Um, it would make sense to have it there because of the maintenance access road nearby. Yeah, absolutely. They got to do more with the roads though, and it's not Dreamworld; it's the council or it's the Queensland government. That getting out of Dreamworld when it's really busy, or even getting in there, shocking. That roundabout at the front is just terrible. And when it's busy and the motorway's busy, it's. I mean, I don't know. The M1, they got the connector there, but I don't know where it goes because I haven't been on the connector yet. But I don't think it goes very far. It doesn't. It's not really. I think it's only good for the people that live in Coomera at the back to get from A to B. I don't think it's. No one's going to get off the M1 and go right around the back and then get on the connector because you're going to be using more petrol. I don't know. maybe it will take congestion off the motorway. But I can tell you now, when I go to Dreamworld on the weekend, the M1 is like crawling for hours and hours and hours on end. It's worse than peak in the weekday. The Saturday, well, the weekend traffic is crazy, particularly heading to the Gold Coast Saturday mornings. It is horrendous. It is absolutely gridlocked. And then we want to build more hotels and they got to do something. They got to put overpasses up or something. It's crazy. Like one day it took me 40 minutes to drive from Dreamworld to Movie World because I went to Dreamworld in the morning and I thought I'd go to Dreamworld around lunchtime. Sorry, Dreamworld in the morning, went to Movie World in the afternoon, just after lunch. 40 minutes because it was just so congested. And I went on the highway and it just sat. I sat and sat and sat. Then I crawled and sat. No reason for it, just traffic. Crazy. And it's a 5-minute drive. Anyway, yeah, well, that where the old Big Brother house was, that's actually not Dreamworld's land. Unless they've since purchased it, I don't know, but it was never on their actual land. It was not owned by them. So I don't know if they own it now or not. But I think there's talk of them actually. I think there is talk of them acquiring that land though. So potentially something there with that. Will RNC ever come to Australia with a hybrid or a Raptor? We can only hope, Henry. It would be cool to see so many different. It would be cool to see RMC. It would be just amazing to see. There's so many different coaster brands and designs and styles. Man, like if you pick out 5 of your favorite ones from around the world, probably 5 different manufacturers. So yeah, it'd be amazing. We probably need those other brands to just give people a whole different ride experience because I love Matt coasters, but they're all different elements. They kind of feel the same. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think about that, but I think that's kind of how I like it when you have a totally different train, different feel. There's ones you stand up on now. There's ones you lie down on. There's just so many different designs. So yeah, we need to see something different. Thanks, Cooper. Appreciate you. See you around the traps. Arkham Asylum was my favorite ride at Movie World before it got removed. Yeah, that was always it was always a good coaster. Made me feel a bit funny because of the head banging around a bit, but it was always a good one. Jensen Ackles has put on her YouTube channel the Christmas parade. That's cool. It's a cool parade too, isn't it? It's awesome. Straws are saying the Coomera Connect is only a 1/4 open. Yeah, they're still building to 2 other sections, the Helensvale and the was it Smith Street section, Gavin. Yes, but still, I don't know. Is it really going to take that many more people off the main one? I think people still just go, I just want to stay on the one road. Like, well, I drive back from Brisbane all the time to the Gold Coast, and often the GPS says, save 12 minutes, go off at Stapleton and go out through Jacobs Well, out through Pimpamar. Make those roads are shocking. Like, I don't want to drive all out the countryside. I just want to stay on the motorway. Do you know what I mean? Like, saving 12 minutes or not, I'm just like, well, what's 12 minutes, I suppose. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see when it opens. Looking at Google Maps, looks like there's already a road going through the old Big Brother house back at Dreamworld. Yeah, well, could well be actually. Do I know what's going on with the flat ride next Aussie World next to SX 360? Yes, I do. It's actually so it's all completed, obviously, but it's the regulators that they're waiting on. So even the big theme parks here have to get the government regulators in to sign them off, and that is not easy. And getting them there to do it if you remember back to Dingo Racer, the same issue. That was up and finished and ready for a long time. Same with SX 360 before they could get them to sign off on it. So they're literally waiting. It's crazy. Admin Blocks 2 says that their friend snuck into the Blue Lagoon at Movie World, recorded it. Dreamworld found out and banned them for a year. Yeah, well, if they've done the wrong thing, if they've broken to a place they shouldn't be going, and if they're an annual pass holder or whatever, then sure, it's up to them to ban them. Because realistically, it's dangerous because there could be, sharp objects in there. There could be glass, and it's not safe. If they're walking up a structure and they fall through and hurt themselves, or they impale themselves on something, who's gonna be there to get them? You know what I mean? Like, it's not safe. So that's why they shouldn't be in there, and that's why they've banned them. So they don't. It's a lesson. You're not coming in because you did that. Fair enough, really. But yeah, is what it is. As long as they didn't get hurt. The Pimpamart X is awful. Yeah, 100%. Thanks so much for shouting out my family members. They were over the moon. No worries at all. Hope you enjoyed the coffees. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, appreciate that very much. I'm glad you saw the video of the shout outs there. That's my pleasure. No problem at all. All good. Yeah, 4 lanes and it's still a crawl. I'll tell you. Yeah, the M1 is a shocker. Anyway, guys, I reckon we're going to leave it there now. It's just past 10 o'clock. So we've been going for 2.5 hours. So I think that we've done well and we've got through all the questions. Look, if I have missed a question, apologies. Feel free to send me a DM on Instagram and I will reply when I get to it as well. But did just want to say a big thank you to everyone for joining me on the live stream. It's been a little while since we've done one. We'll try and keep them going every 2 weeks. If there's a sporting event on, like State of Origin or something like that, I won't have it because I'm sure most people, not all, but probably most people would be more interested in watching the State of Origin, myself included, actually. So if the next fortnight, I think it might be when the State of Origin is on, we'll probably skip that one, go to the next one. So we'll go from there. But yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone for jumping on. Thank you so much for the engagement in the comments tonight and for questions. Fantastic. Thank you all so much for supporting me, supporting the channel. Again, I'm on TikTok, Instagram as well, and Facebook, but more so on the other two. Again, if you're on here and you're not subscribed to Jaggs Journeys, it is free. Subscribe on YouTube. It's free also to follow on TikTok and Instagram. There's regular content posted mostly on Instagram and then TikTok as well from time to time as well. But yeah, so a lot of stuff happening in the next few weeks over the holidays. So lots of cool events to get to and enjoy, which is cool. So hopefully, yeah, I'll probably see some of you out at the parks at some of the events and things. We'll say a quick hi. If it's a night event, it'll have to be a quick hi until the end of the night anyway. Then we can always stop and chat at the end of the night. It's the during the night thing where I'm most rushed, but always happy to stop and say g'day. So yeah, thank you all so much. Yes, we hope Queensland have a win. Is it next week? If it's next week, then is State of Origin next week? I can't remember. I thought it was week after. But anyway, yes, I hope Queensland get a win for sure. So then that makes an interesting decider. So we'll see how it goes. Cool. All right. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks so much for jumping on. Thanks for all the comments and checking out the channel and all my videos. It's always appreciated. And I'm sure we'll see you around the parks. Remember, sometimes I'm in my own world, so feel free to tap me on the shoulder. Hey, Shane. And yeah, because sometimes I'm just in my own world and focus on what I'm doing. I don't see everybody. So all good there. Okay, so there could be conflicts for game 3 only. Okay, that's cool. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. For the streaming at the same time. If that's the case, we'll definitely, if Queensland will definitely win the next one, we'll then the decider. We'll have to all watch the decider, of course. So maybe we have a. No, we won't do that. I was gonna say maybe we have an Origin streaming at the same time. I have the game on as well, but nah, that's distracting. Too distracting. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Hope everyone has a really awesome week. Thank you for jumping on for the last 2.5 hours. I appreciate your time. Steve the farmer just jumped on. I'm well, thank you very much. We just actually at the end of the live stream, but thanks for jumping on. I do appreciate you. You're going for New South Wales. Congrats on the first win. Hopefully Queensland wins the second one. We do anyway. At least then it makes a cool decider, an interesting decider game to watch. So yeah. But we'll go for the best team on the night. All right. So thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe. Yeah, everyone stay safe as well. Enjoy what you're doing. Have fun out there. And I'm just trying to find. I haven't. There we go. Cool. And yeah, we'll be here back in 2 weeks, 7:30 p.m. Queensland time. And then we'll see you then. Should be fine. I'm trying to adjust some work scheduling to get home in time. So hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks there. You might see me on a live stream out in the parks as well. Weekly content dropping on YouTube. Regular content dropping on TikTok and Instagram also as well. Anyway, guys, good night for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next journey. Good night.